Oh, how are you? I'm so sorry. How are
No,
you?
no, I'm great. How are you doing? I love the poster in the back.
Oh, thank you. Happy Friday. So happy to see everyone joining us this Friday night.
Yes, thank you all for waiting and coming. Rachel and I are so excited to be here. We are calling this Redemption Island after our last round on Instagram, where it blacked out and everybody was so patient. They came back. But tonight we are partnering with Maine Humanities Council. So this is a nonprofit in Maine, and they go around to all the communities and spread art through positive change and telling our stories. So very similar to the telling room, and we're linking up for this connection. And I'll pass it over to Rachel next.
Yes, thanks, Amanda. So that's exactly what we're doing here, guys. My name is Rachel Iradukunda. Me and Amanda, we're the ambassadors of the Telling Room. And what that is basically we help in one way or the other, give advice or tips to our amazing staff of Telling Room to continue empower youth through writing. That's really our task. And so tonight we are going to be hosting this event, titled Poetry Express, which the theme of tonight is going to be identity, present, past, and future. So you don't want to miss a lot of poems that are going to be shared here. It's going to be full of energy, full of life. It'll be amazing. And a lot of readers that you hear from tonight, they're going to be, some of them will be featured from the New Land. Amanda, if you have it, you want to show us the copy of the New Land so everyone knows. There it goes. That's the New Land. Some of the readers who will be talking here are going to be featured in this book, A New Land. And we're all excited and welcome. We can't wait to see all of you and what you have to share with us tonight. Back to you, Amanda.
Thank you. And we just wanted to give a shout out because this book has been recognized a lot recently, and I think we're all just really grateful and humbled at the Telling Room, our entire staff, everybody who's in this book, and students at the Telling Room that, they wrote a poem there when they were 10 years old, and it got published way after, and it's all these ages, all these identities, races, religions, all speaking to one another, and recently, Naomi Shihab Nye picked this book as her May pick of the month book, so go check that out. It's really exciting, and this book is going to be featured all up and down the Maine coast as another project for people traveling. They can read this book on their road trips, which is really cool. And tonight we are doing 2 rounds. So the first round of our authors is going to be a poem that they wrote themselves. And then the second round is going to be a poem by a Maine poet, anybody they choose, and just something that they feel inspired by. So should I kick it off, Rachel? Sounds good?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I said to Rachel, I said, why not just share something I wrote a few hours before this, go off the cuff. I think it's important to show that, we're writing all the time and it doesn't have to be this perfect revised thing. So this is just something I was thinking of earlier. And first poem of the night, and then I'll pass back to you, Rachel, to share yours. All right. I can't stop saving my father's voicemails, telling him I'll play these at your funeral someday. Be funnier. I can't stop staring at the 70-year-old woman with the loose buttermilk hair bun who licks a slice of cheesecake all by herself on a Wednesday afternoon. What a lucky fork. I can't stop eating lonely. The way I make an entire pasta salad, 8 servings, for my own fat heart. The way my sneakers hug my toes like a riptide, never knowing what shore my tongue flaps will wash up on. Who will like to kiss my salt? I can't stop hunting for bookstores. I've been to over 100 now in New York City. True story. And it still feels like I'm skinning my knees with stories for the first time. Tonight, I am going to a party. I can't stop wondering if I should bake brownies to seem generous, even when I want to down the entire pan by myself, like forcing midnight down my throat. Did my grandmother bake brownies at her first party after a pandemic? Did she untie her laces like a newborn's umbilical cord? Was it her own? Thank you.
That was cool, Amanda. That was amazing.
Thanks, girl. Thanks.
Yeah, one of the that he wrote, I can't stop eating lonely. That's one of the lines that really captured my attention as well. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. I just want to say, everybody use the heart button through this night of reading. When you feel a line, press that heart, send a comment, shout out those lines that you love from our authors tonight. Thank you. And then I'll pass it over to you, Rachel, for your own poem you chose.
Sounds good. Hello, everyone. So tonight I chose to read some parts of one of my favorite poet, Maya Angelou, Still I Rise. You may write excuse me, let me start over. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you best beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. You may shoot me with your words. You may come me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Thank you, Amanda.
I'm shouting all the way. Oh,
Hugs.
that hits me. I love that one. Oh, and just you reading it, Rachel, too. Like, it's just so powerful.
I love it too.
Feel that. Great. All right. Should we go to our first author?
Alicia Barstow. I saw her in the comments. She's definitely here. She's present. So welcome.
Magic.
Or I saw it like pop up on my thing, and I was like, "Oh, perfect! I don't have to do anything. I can just join."
Welcome, Alexa. I am going to do a little bit of introduction of you. So nice to see you. Excited to join us today. Well, first off, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been a good week.
That's wonderful. So everyone, Alexa Barstow is a senior at Ocean High School in Rockland, Maine. She's the author of the short story collection Truth Be Told, the winner of 2019 Maine Literary Award for Youth Fiction, and the recipient of a National Gold Medal and American Voices Award in the 2021 Scholastic Art and Writing Award. Alexa, amazing.
Thank you.
By fall, she will be attending Bryan Mall College in the fall to study political science history. Amazing. Welcome, Alexa. So happy to have you tonight.
Thank you, and thank you so much for hosting this. I love these, so I was very excited. Nothing like poetry on a Friday night. So I'll be reading my poem Glassbirds, which I wrote with the Telling Room this past fall. So I'll just get started then.
Sounds good.
I am a storyteller. This is what I know, as sure as I know my bones beneath my skin. I am like you, and that we are both just collections of memories stored within our skulls. I can introduce myself by name, age, where I live, or I could tell you what I think about, when I'm falling asleep. I'm sealing messages in glass bottles just to watch them break against the cliffs. In the dead of winter, I poured hot candle wax out the window and watched it melt to the bottom of the earth. Candle reduced to wax, reduced to hot rain, reduced to nothing, absorbed into the ground and disappeared from sight. It felt real in the moment, watching it melt into the snow. A hole in the ground covered up by the next storm. My words will wash away till the remnants of their containers wash up on some faraway shore, taken back in someone's pocket to a new home, as if they were never mine at all, as if I never had the memory to begin with. They cut down the branch of my favorite tree, the one in the front yard that could barely reach our roof. I picked this house when I was 8, picked it for the staircase, tired of living on a single floor. The birds used to nest in the tree below my room. Now they are in the eaves above my window, and I watch them on Sunday mornings, fluttering by, close enough to touch. Always endless snowy days in the backyard, but now I don't know where my mittens are and shiver at every wind. Today I saw my brother swinging from the tree in the front yard. Yes, I remember. That used to be me. The hospital where I was born, they don't do births anymore. I heard they might tear it down. How strange. The first place in this world that I knew reduced to rubble. Have mercy on my memories. Yes, I went there once, when I was older, to see my grandmother's boyfriend mummified in hospital sheets. I can't quite remember now why he was there, why we were there to begin with. Wrapped up in sheets, her and I, somewhere between dawn and dusk, when the words passed between us, no windows, no screens. Her warm breath, the smell of fennel toothpaste, muffled laughter, bumping shoulders and knees. Pressed together beneath the pile of blankets, she can't sleep without her hand-knitted quilt. Being this close, just a heartbeat away. Yes, I'll remember how good this feels. Here one moment, gone the next. That is what it means to fall asleep. Here one moment, gone the next. My first crush, we swung from his bunk beds, but I can't remember his brother's name. My elementary friends have faded away from me like old photos left to rot. The taste of homemade applesauce burning against my tongue. What's the recipe? I'm dying to know. Almost 17 now, the days just fly by, like the trees on summer roads, like the words of our favorite songs, lyrics traded between the front and back seat of the car. Almost 17 now, all the freedom I've ever wanted, but it has made me busy, and being busy has made me forgetful, till the moments spill over like spilled wax, here one moment, gone the next, and you asked me what I did last week, and I could not tell you at all. This is it, isn't it? The most alive we'll ever be. I'll bury my own bones in the backyard, a time capsule I'll never be ready to unearth. I swept under my bed and found a whole world, all those crumpled pieces of paper I raged at for what they could not give me, for what I could not say. Here is where I will lay my memories to sleep, where the ground will swallow them up and the blizzards will blow them away. This is such a lovely home, such a lovely place to grow up. I never got to ask you, where did you grow up? What is your favorite type of cheese? What would you want your name to be if you could choose? Have you ever broken a bone? Have you ever broken a tooth? Did you ever share a room with a sibling? What nightmares can you remember? What dreams still haunt you? Have you ever spent an entire day barefoot? Have you ever eaten honeysuckle? Have you ever jumped off a playground or climbed up a slide backwards? Would you ever want a twin? What do you collect? Do you ever get headaches? What is my grandfather's name? Do you believe in true love? I love you, but you've forgotten my name. Dad says you used to be a hoarder, a collector of tiny things. I suppose I am the same. I just can't let stuff go. And I tend to keep the curtains shut like you used to, and I've started to wonder if I got that from you. Our faces are so similar, but you never got to realize it, and it terrifies me that you're like a ghost in the mirror, haunting me, haunting you, or who you used to be. Dear God, I love you. Please remember my name. We are nothing but glass birds stored in tiny cases, tucked away in old cabinets. My grandmother's floor, covered in paintings, leaned up on the legs of tables and chairs. Her house was a museum, where all the walls had fallen down. Yes, I remember how she swallowed smoke. I can no longer ask her how young she started, or if she did it because it was the closest she could get to breathing fire. I've never smoked a cigarette, never tasted ash. We have the same face, same blood, but is that where it ends? I wake up cold in the night after dreaming we have the same mind, the same forgetfulness that washes away lifetimes in the blink of an eye. Here one moment, gone the next. I think this may be what life is. I think this may be how it goes. Grandmothers forget who you are, and all these glass birds get broken until one day you go to sleep in your home and wake up in a house. And that's it.
That was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Instead of a mic drop, I'm going to do a pen drop.
I'm honored. Thank you. Yeah. I haven't gotten to read this one. Like, it's a real person thing. So that's a real mic drop for me.
Somebody said you are making Oceanside High School proud. They're so proud.
Yeah, I think that's one of my teachers there who I invited tonight. So thank you, Ms. Ross, if that's you. Thanks.
It's always great when our teachers and professors have come to support.
Yeah, it's always the best. They are the ones who do it all. So I'm very thankful.
I have a question for you about your work.
Yeah, of course.
Also, fennel toothpaste. I will never forget that line. Haunts me in my sleep in the best possible way. That's one of my favorite descriptions I've ever heard. My question is, how does time play as a theme throughout your work? You know, I think that's one of your strongest things as a writer is spending time, fast forwarding time, but we're still with you where the character is going, and you're just like an actor of seamlessly weaving that through.
Thank you for that compliment. I think time for me, especially it's my senior year right now, so I'm like, next chapter, moving on and everything. And I'm thinking a lot about how I'm the same person I used to be, and I'm also not the same person I used to be at all. So I think I try to show that in my characters, and most of my writing is showing how you can stay the same, but also how important it is to change and grow. And things are always changing, as we've seen, especially recently. So I think that's what is most important to me in my writing, is capturing that growth at the same time as staying true to yourself.
Oh, thank you so much, and we'll bring you back for round 2.
Yeah, forward to it. Thank you. Can I?
Thank you.
Whoop, exit out.
Little X.
Bye.
See you in a few minutes.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Oh, she's left. She's left the building.
But her poem was really touching. It was really.
All right.
Next
up. Yes. Dun 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 dun. She's here. I've seen her.
Seen her. Okay, perfect.
Here we go. All right. All right, folks. We're getting better at this. Thank you all for being patient.
Mary is joining just in a second.
I'll do the little intro. What do you guys think of Alexa?
Really great. They captured a lot of great quotes.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Alexa can do any genre. That's what I say. You know, like Alexa needs a book of fiction, nonfiction, poetry, all of the above.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Rose. Hey, Mary. Yes. Welcome.
Hello. Hi. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
No worries. Can you tell us, Mary, where you are coming to us from? This is how broad the stretch of the telling room is.
Yeah, I'm originally from Southborough, Maine, but for the past 3 years I've been living in Paris, France. So you're getting a nice 1:30 a.m. view of Paris in my wall. Great wall.
Wow. So it's 5 hours ahead there. Did I do the math?
6 hours.
6 hours.
I can't do math. So the telling room has made it to Paris. Anybody watching, this is like the reach of the, you know, like it travels all through the world. And I have your bio, Mary. So you're from South Berwick, as you said, at the far southern tip of Maine, and you are interested in languages, lobsters, poetry, and people, and you live in France at the moment. What's like your favorite thing you've done in France before?
I think the spoken word poetry scene here is really amazing. Or it used to be before COVID, but I think there was like this place called the Chat Noir, which was like an underground poetry place with really cheap drinks, but you literally went down underneath into the basement, and everyone was just kind of like huddled and all really close to each other, and it's really hot, and it was just this incredible mix of like, you might hear songs in Farsi, and then people like sharing their lives in like French and English, and just this incredible a mix of languages and cultures and music and words, and it was just so vibrant and beautiful.
Oh, that's amazing. I just want to read this comment. Somebody wrote, Mary, that you are a hero. 1:30 a.m. from Paris. Mary is coming from us. Is coming to us from the future. And somebody else said, you are a time lord. I couldn't. Lord. You are really. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, tomorrow looks pretty great. FYI, guys, it's coming for you.
That's beautiful.
So, is this the part where I read my poem, correct? And then the next round will be the second poem. All right. So, before I moved to the land of baguettes and croissants, I worked for a while in Kittery at a lobster company. Taylor Lobster Company, great lobsters if you ever want to go. But so this is a poem I wrote about that job, which was actually like not a good job. But anyways, and it's titled Picking Meat. At the lobster company where I worked, I killed for nothing and a paycheck. Picked apart tenderly the block-frozen corpses of shrimp and punched the price of scallops in as my employee number when I forgot myself somewhere in the dark, dark air and dirty plastic walls. For hours I picked meat. I knew them intimately, the broken bodies, plunged my purple-skinned hands into the red, breathed in steam as if steam could warm me. It was so cold, I was so cold, the cadavers curled. But I knew just how the base of my palms would crack the lobster tails, and I knew eggs might have lain there once, embossed about the fringe, the tail, broad petals. I threw them in the trash. I flinched barely when the green guts spattered my eyes. They stained the poetry I tried to take to the wall, too. Later, rushing already to meet some wanting customer, I scraped paper towels rough over my boiled face and peeled the ruby gloves away off of my wrists. Delicately, they always turned from white to blood. I never did find out who died those days. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was amazing. Just a quick question following on that poem. How do you what inspires you when you're thinking about, writing something, how it relates to you as an individual, who you think yourself as a person? What inspires you? Do you always have to relate it back to identity, who you are, or some sort of things? Just trying to see, what inspires you, or inspired this particular poem, to be specific.
I think that's a really good question. Thanks for asking that. And I think that for me, poetry is a lot about need. Writing is a lot about need. And so to what can I not say? What is like burning inside of me or like building up and that needs to be expressed somehow? And for me, the way I experience and make sense of the world is by writing it down and just seeking to find the most beautiful and precise and true images and ways to say what I'm seeing and living. And so a lot of the times that's trying to think through like the experiences and the sites that are continually forming me and that have left the largest imprints on me. So sometimes that's, oh, I was walking down the street and like that's gonna become a poem, but others that I write more at a distance are about the experiences that I just can't forget and that have kind of built up inside of me as this pressure.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary, and we'll bring you back the second round.
Around, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
All right.
Wow. We have up next Ryan Neal.
All right. Somebody, Mary, and the colors too, right? All of those colors. It's just so vast of how you can expand a single color that we just think of as red, green, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It becomes wider.
Yeah. Even the response, you know, poetry need. Just
right.
so, you know.
Spot on. I love the styles we're getting too. The range.
Yeah, I know. They complement each other.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll see if Ryan. I'm sending the request.
Ryan Neal. It's gonna be. I'm excited to hear what Ryan is going to have to share with us.
I know. Oh, it says unable to join.
Oh.
Let me see.
Maybe we can go do Rebecca.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Sound good.
Rebecca in the comments. She's been giving everyone good energy.
That's true. All right. I'm going to go. Yeah. Ryan, we'll come back anytime. It says unable to join right now, but we'll try again after Rebecca. All right, Rebecca, I'm finding you. And Rebecca is one of our very well-known people at the Telling Room because I'll tell you in a minute. I'm holding out. All right.
Is Ryan still trying? They are requesting Ryan. Is it still saying the same thing?
I know, we want Ryan too. Okay, it says it popped up again, unable to join. Maybe try checking that your Instagram is updated and then we'll bring you back. Sound good? Okay. I know it's tricky. That happened last time.
Yeah.
Oh, technology.
Go, Rebecca. Oh, it's exciting.
Rebecca, I clicked your name, but it says unable to join. Let me check. All right.
Ryan fans, go, Rebecca. We have some individuals in the audience. We appreciate
Lily. Yes, thanks, guys. Lily requested. Yes. Here we go. Should right now.
There you
go. Okay. Okay.
So how do you video?
Ryan fans, go, Rebecca.
Hi.
We have some. Hi, Ryan. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. We're so happy to have you be one of the poets tonight.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, that's wonderful. So Ryan, just a little introduction for everyone. Ryan, Ryan Neal is a fifth grader, guys. He at the Mass Blending School in Freeport. He has a mom, a dad, stepmom, three sisters, and three brothers. Ryan loves to play soccer, baseball, golf, and chess. Although he's excellent at math, his favorite subject in school is gym, and Ryan is very excited for middle school next year. Wow, welcome, Ryan. We're so happy to have you.
Ryan, would you like to start us out this round by reading the poem that you wrote first, and then we'll bring you back for the main author one?
Yep. This poem I wrote during the telling room program, and here it is. Home by Ryan Nyhead. I wake up in the morning in a town that is not home. I see Swiss coffee, bland. The town looks like a shade of fieldstone gray. Icky water in the center, rotting with this old place, with ripples spiraling through. The ripples shake, lined with imperfection and failures. I look at the clay sculptures in the house. Antique white, I would say. Everything here is bland as the coffee. I make my trip home, starting up, hoping happiness shall return to me. Hours and hours I have driven. I see a light flicker. It has a glow home warm feeling as I step on my porch. The light fills the room. Welcome home, it whispers. Welcome home.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. That was
I love that. My question for you, Ryan, is a broader question, but I think it's a really important one. Of what does writing feel like to you? What does it mean to you personally?
Well, I feel like writing usually comes to me. When it comes to me, I sort of just write it down, and the words kind of flow together, and then the words start making sense with each other.
beautiful.
You definitely have, I think, such like an innate talent of what you said. It just kind of comes to you and you write it down, but it's also the hard work of you in that time and energy. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your first poem, and we'll bring you back. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Bye.
All right.
That was beautiful.
You have to leave it? Wait.
Yeah.
Oh.
With an X. There we go. Perfect.
Wow.
Thank you to Lily, Ryan's sister.
I know, yeah. Sister Lily. That was she came at the right moment where we needed support.
Right on. All right. Rebecca.
Rebecca.
See if it works.
Hi.
Hi.
I feel the need to say this. I'm actually Hannah. I'm on my sister's account.
Oh! You're right. You gave us Rebecca's Instagram, and I'm like, I don't know a Rebecca.
Yeah, I actually personally don't have Instagram.
Right. No problem. I got Instagram really late too, so spot on. And I have your bio. I'd like to read it before you begin. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right. Hannah Patterson of Sanford, a student at Sanford High School, wrote her poem, While I Stand, as a submission for the Telling Room's 2021 statewide writing contest. It shows her thoughts as she watched the riots upon the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, 2021, and the presidential inauguration 2 weeks later. In her free time, Hannah not only writes poetry, but her own songs as well, although she will always prefer to play along to Paul McCartney when given the chance. Yes, I love Paul. Thank you, Hannah. And just to say, I mean, we had a ton of submissions to this contest, and your poem stood out to a big size group of people. So I'm so excited to hear this live for the first time. I know, Rachel, you're excited too, but Hannah's poem is featured in our next book that's forthcoming. I think that's all I can say now. I feel like I'm dropping an album, but Hannah's on the album. So take it away while I stand.
Okay. Sorry. This is my first time reading poetry actually out loud. So, okay. I lost my ignorance standing there as I watched them breaking windows, glass shards flying in the air, a stale gunshot ringing in my ears. I lost my blindness standing there as I watched what our country has become, their papers tossed into the wind, Capitol property stolen out from under them. I lost my contentment standing there as I watched them push and scream, throwing their feet upon her desk, sitting in now abandoned chairs. I lost my hope standing there as I watched late into the night, seeing troops marching in, the people refusing to stand down at all. I found my fear standing there as I watched them locate a bomb, riders running through the halls of an untouchable symbol of our country. I found my shock standing there as I watched people who carry such hate, flags flying behind our own citizens, tearing apart our symbol of freedom and democracy. I found my disappointment standing there as I found them threaten police, a newfound insecurity growing inside of me while lawmakers cling tightly to the walls. I found my instability standing there as I watched the people of our country, as all of the world paused and watched too, wondering how this even happened. Then today, I left a little of my fear gathering here. As we all are singing and clapping along, our hearts filled with cheer and our first female vice president sworn into office. Most of all, I found my pride standing here, holding my head up high for our country, seeing the same halls recently haunted with screams, now filled with acceptance, music, and hope.
Wow. That was amazing. That was great. It's like you really did take us back in a nice way. Just, people who were following that day when everything was happening, that those were powerful words. You said the very first sentence, I lost my ignorance standing there. I mean, how powerful could that be? It just says it all. I wanted to ask you a quick question though. So, as you are writing, as you are thinking through different processes and things of that sort, my question is, how could you say, or proximity, what kind of role does proximity play in inspiring you to writing anything? In this instance, it sounds like, really you witnessing what was happening, it inspired you to write this. So I want to understand, what does proximity mean to you? Really getting close to the real issue. Speak to us a little bit about that, please.
I guess for me, it's that I've always used writing as my way of really sorting out my thoughts and my emotions. And with such a huge event in our lives and something that was so politically charged and everything, it was very hard for me to work through, and my mind was really muddled, and I felt that writing would just really help me clear through my head and find a way to really put what I was feeling into words. And so I kind of sat down and like, okay, I need to figure this out and everything. And I guess that I really just felt that maybe if I could use my words to show how I felt and how this event affected me personally, I would be able to help other people possibly work through their emotions and thoughts as well around the event, since it was so difficult for many of us to navigate, especially all of us that are still in school. We're young. We don't know a lot about all of this. We just know that we were scared and that this was a very terrifying witness.
Yeah. And that's so powerful. And that's what poetry does, right? By creating your writings and expressing yourselves, you are able to uplift somebody else who is going through the same thing as you, but maybe they don't have the right words. They don't know how to deal with it. So in a sense, you are providing ways that people could, you know, imitate to cope with the situation. That was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Look, Amanda is speechless.
Thank you.
She's still thinking about it.
Oh, I always say too, poetry is not therapy, but it can be therapeutic, I think.
Oh, wow.
So,
Amanda,
yeah.
again, that was amazing. Please.
We will see you again, Hannah. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry we called you Rebecca. But we'll click you on again. And if you want to just click the X, we'll bring on Peyton next. Thank you.
Thank you. See you second round, Hannah. Wow.
That was amazing. Oh, and just to hear that out live, it's really powerful to have read it on the page. But just to hear the emotion in that day, I don't think any of us will forget that. Like, I'll always remember the exact spot I was sitting watching that with my sister in Maine. So yeah. I'm
no,
so
powerful.
Hannah. Yeah.
Especially, you know, when things like this happen as young people, we can feel like it's out of our control. We have nothing that we can. But Hannah, that's really a great example of showing that you have some sort of power. You could do something about any situation, you know, because her poem could help a lot of people. And that's, in a way, her contribution to helping the world. So that was amazing. Thank you, Hannah.
Well said. Thank you. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Peyton's coming on. I'm so glad this worked out.
Yeah, Peyton's here. That's what poetry does with the heart. Catherine says dropping truth. Liz Sinclair says truth. Liz Sinclair also said that's what poetry does with the heart emoji. We couldn't agree with you more. That's beautiful.
Does it work, Peyton, when you see the request button?
Urban Naomi said good live show. So watch out. Me and Amanda might come with our own reality show one of these days.
No! That's too good. It says, DNC, your account, Peyton, is unable to join. Oh, you say you don't see anything.
DNC is that Rebecca?
Yeah.
Rebecca.
Oh, it says we get a rejection when we try to send a request. If you have another Instagram account, feel free to put it in the comments. And yeah, it's not sending on our end either.
You think it's the dating?
Yeah, if you wanna, if they wanna send another account in the comments, we can bring you back after Alicia. Yeah, it says you're unable to join. It might be an update with Instagram. I know that's been finicky lately, but no problem if you need to exit out and update it. Just check it on. Thanks, Jan. Shout out to Jan. This is Jan on Instagram with the last comment, and Jan is a part of the Maine Humanities Council and has been so supportive, generous with their time, and yeah, we're just really grateful. Oh, they got an account for this one. Okay, I'm trying one more time. I feel so bad if it doesn't work.
Maybe somebody suggested that leave and rejoin. Maybe that would be helpful. I think that would be.
Yeah, that sounds good. if they want to, if you want to just exit out Peyton's family and then come back, we'll bring you back, I promise. All right.
In the meantime, do you want to do Alicia or should we wait for them to get back?
Let's go with Alicia and we'll bring on Peyton if it works out. How about that?
That sounds great. That sounds great.
All right. Here comes a telling room legend.
Well, it's good to see you guys.
So nice as well.
Yeah. This has been great so far. Everyone's absolutely wonderful.
They have been.
How are you doing, Alicia?
I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to reading tonight. I've really been enjoying hearing the variety in everyone else's work. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're doing a great job hosting this.
We're like virtual host buddies.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start a podcast at some point.
Somebody suggested a TV show. That's how far they took it.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it.
Let's go.
So, Alicia, I have a small introduction of you that I would like to read before you go ahead.
Yeah, please.
Alicia Brilliant is an author and illustrator who received their BFA in Illustration and Creative Writing from the Massachusetts College of Art and Design. They are currently completing their MFA in Literary Fiction through Stonecast. They are also an ambassador at the Telling Room, just like myself and Amanda. They are located in Portland, Maine, and an editor of an upcoming anthology. So you have to share with us what that poetry is going to entail, Alicia. Their work prioritizes LGBT community, relationships, and identities filtered through the lens of their experience as a non-binary person. Wow, amazing. Welcome, Alicia. Please go ahead and share your poem with us.
Great. So the poem I'm reading tonight is a reinterpretation of the Greek myth of Narcissus and the nymph Echo, and I'm just going to go ahead and read that. Hero's wrath knows no bounds. By the gods, who are you? Echo. I haven't seen you here before. You have. I'm sure I would remember such a beauty. You said the same before. I have no memory of that. Nor will you remember this. Of course I will. Narcissus, it has been the same every time. I did not give you my name. My love, you did not need to. What else have I forgotten? All of it. You forget the moment you look from me. Why? Because hero's wrath knows no bounds. Then I will not look from you. Promise? I do. Narcissus, by the gods, who are you? I told you.
I'm so glad we got a Greek myth tonight. Yes. Yeah. So my question for you is, have you always been inspired by myths, just like ancient myths, or do you read a lot of, I'll go with that.
Not necessarily. I'd say it's a very recent interest of mine. I read Circe by Madeline Miller about 2 years ago. She did a signing here in Portland, and that was really a great point of interest for me. I've continued reading a lot of Greek mythology recently. You know, I'm a student at Stonecoast. I'm working on a novella about Daedalus and Icarus. So it's always been a point of fascination for me.
Yeah. I'm so excited for the book.
Yeah.
I know.
Thank you so much, Alicia, and we'll bring you back round 2.
Well, I'll be back. I look forward to it.
It's the piece for 2.
Oh my goodness. Peyton is back. She's under Miss Palm 1974.
All right. Sending the request. Thank you all. I hope you're having a great night. The 20 of you and whoever watches this after the live, thank you so much for supporting the Telling Room and Maine Humanities. We're just all very passionate about spreading our own stories being really vulnerable and sharing that. It can be really scary, but I think impacts a lot more people than we realize our art. So send out the art. You're all artists. No matter what category you define it as, art is really, I think, a lifeline to a lot of people. It's a life-saving thing. So, yeah.
Absolutely. That was beautifully said.
Thank you. All right. I'm requesting Peyton.
Peyton.
Let me know if it works.
Mm-hmm.
It says Miss Palm is unable to join.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like that must have been a new account created as well, just for
Yeah.
this.
Let's see.
Mm.
I know. I wish we had some poetry jokes. That'll be next time.
Next time.
Comedy special on the spot.
Next time.
Yeah.
I'm bring you some comedy, poetry.
Okay. It doesn't say either account is able to join. Dang it. That's okay. All right. Yeah, it keeps saying unable. But let me know if there's another account. I'm sorry, it's not working. Yeah. You have a thing, maybe Peyton could send her poem and one of you could read it. If you want to type it in the chat or type it in pieces even, that would be amazing. Or feel free to email it to me, Peyton's family. I have it right here and could read it on the email. But also let me know if there's another Instagram, and no problem at all. I know technology fails on me all the time, so it's not you. It's the wires. That's what we say. So let me know, and we can always bring back Peyton anytime during this next half. I think I'm gonna end this, and we'll start the new one because the live ends at the hour mark. So thank you guys. This is round 1 of Poetry Express, and we'll be back. Click on our live again. Bye, Rachel.
See you in 1 minute.
Bye.
Bye.